Outdoor sports pioneer Jerry McKinnis is one of the most influential figures in the industry. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, Jerry's name was already appearing in the sports section by the late 1950s as a minor league baseball player for the Kansas City Athletics. But he had a passion for fishing, too, and a magazine article about float fishing Arkansas's White River particularly intrigued him. He saved for that trip, which turned out to be with an equally young guide by the name of Forrest Wood. The two were a perfect match. Jerry soon moved to Arkansas to begin guiding himself. When a local TV sports anchor noticed him coming back to the dock one day with a huge stringer of bass, he invited him and the fish to appear on the evening's newscast. That appearance led to a weekly 5-minute fishing report, and though Jerry wasn't sure what to make of it all, he sensed it was a great way to increase business. He rented a movie camera and began to film himself fishing, which led to the hour-long show Arkansas Sportsman. For years, Jerry shot footage, rushed to the station to have it edited, and was on the air 15 minutes later. In 1963, McKinnis traveled to Indiana to assist with a new fishing show, but once there, he was convinced to do it himself. This was the Fishin' Hole. From the beginning, Jerry struggled to keep the Fishin' Hole at a national level, which in those years meant syndication, which in turn meant constant negotiating with individual stations to carry it. In 1979, the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network, ESPN, began. Though the network's original plan was to show movies mixed with sports, since no one would think of watching sports 24 hours a day, that never came to pass. Within a year, the Fishin' Hole was part of the fledgling network and on its way to becoming a permanent fixture in the national media. Featuring ordinary people fishing for bass, trout, and panfish in the country's midsection, it broke the typical fishing show mold. Viewers embraced Jerry's laid-back presentation, making the Fishin' Hole the longest-running outdoor series. Final episodes aired in 2007, 44 years after the show's debut. McKinnis branched out from the Fishin' Hole to become one of the most influential producers in television outdoor programming. Asked by ESPN for a tournament-type program, he introduced the Mariner Tournament Trail in the early 1990s. When ESPN2 began in 1993, he began producing shows for that network as well, including the FLW Tours made-for-television bass tournament series. One of the most prolific production companies around, regardless of sports category, JM Associates developed hundreds of short features, half-hour and hour-long programs, including the popular ESPN Outdoors block on Saturday mornings. Jerry was a longtime member of BASS and had fished 6 tournaments in the early 1970s. In November 2010, his bond with the organization became stronger when he, Don Logan, and Jim Copeland purchased the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society from ESPN. The collective experience and passion these 3 successful businessmen bring to the 46-year-old organization surely heralds an exciting new era for BASS. The IGFA Fishing Hall of Fame applauds Jerry McKinnis, an architect of memorable outdoor television and a champion of freshwater anglers.